Raz, I don't know what you come here first for, man, because your opinion is very invalid in these chats. But thank you for being here, and thank you all for being here. Hope you all enjoyed the day off from the stream. Well, I did. I did a little bit of gaming. I'm going to pour me a drink as well. Still not been to the shop and got any beer, so we're on whiskey. Just found out if I've got to move my holiday that I was booked to go on to next year. They want an extra 500 quid, so they can fuck off, really. That's not going to happen. And that's it, really. I've been playing a little bit of FIFA with the boys today, but I'm permanently retired now. Permanently retired. So no more FIFA for me. But you don't really care about me, to be honest. You're all here for everyone else. You're here for the guests. So about me babbling along for too long, we've gone international again, and we've got Wouter. Say hello.
Hey, everybody. Highlander here. How y'all doing? I don't know all of the people in the chat, but a couple. So
you'll get to know them, Wouter, because you've been around YouTube about 6 years now. A lot of the guys in the comments, there's some who've been here a long time, some are all new channels. So I'm just trying to bring old and new together. Everyone's probably playing Streets of Rage 4, if I'm quite honest. Tootie UK said, do you know Tootie?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of that guy?
Yeah. I know Stu.
So there's a phrase in the UK. It's called, he's like dog shit. He's everywhere.
Cheers, Stu. Look.
What we drinking? What we drinking?
Show my drink. This is a new label for me. I don't know if it used to be the label with the stripes, but now I got the this one.
I'm not going to be funny, Wouter, but that's a British beer, isn't
it? It's a Scottish beer, isn't it?
Well, Scotland's in Britain the last time I checked.
Yeah.
So I'm quite disappointed. I was hoping you was going to be drinking some sort of Dutch beer and educate me a bit.
Oh, sorry. Well, the evening is still long, and the beer is close by, so
okay. Brewdog is what we call like a Ponzi ale in the UK. It's
I know.
It's a fashionable thing. I'm just drinking Jack Daniels and Coke. I'm on.
Hey, Steve.
Do you know Gashead?
Oh yeah. I have a picture of a. Can he upload picture? Can he show pictures, Steve? Because we have.
Depends what sort of pictures they are, Wouter.
Well, it's decent, I think, above the waist. For the rest, we'll never know. But now we have a very confronting picture together.
He can't actually send them, but if he can send it to me, I can share it in our Discord group because that's what I normally do. We got a little bit of a Discord chat as well for anyone who's been on the stream.
Yeah, because every now and again I'll be going through my old pictures and I keep running into that old thing. I think it's on my phone somewhere or something. I don't know. It keeps popping up.
Before we get our second guest in, I'll ask you this question because it doesn't apply to the next person. Wouter has lost weight. No, have you lost weight?
Yeah, I have about 5 kilos, and I'm about to lose more.
Stu's been chopping up his hair.
My haircut. That's over 2 months ago, Stu. So no, I'm wearing a hat because of that.
You need to get a hairstyle like this. See, this is like more of a Highlander Viking sort of haircut.
Yeah, I've been looking at that. I don't think my wife would approve, but hey, who cares?
I don't ask my partner. I just tell her to cut it and just stick as it is. So anyway, we've got Wouter. Wouter is what I'd class a little bit of a YouTube veteran. You've been around a while. So what I've decided to do is get someone the complete other end of the spectrum, and I believe he's not even a month old. Introduce yourself.
Shmup Pilot79 back in the fold. How we doing? All good?
And YouTube just to be clear, I keep calling him Darren. His name's not Darren, his name's Dave. So if I call him Darren, it's just me being a dickhead because I can't pronounce it.
I don't do labels.
He's still. Are you in like a dojo, or is that the games room with that dragons behind you?
Yeah, somewhat of a dojo.
The gaming dojo. See, now that's what you can call
children welcome.
That's actually what you could call your games room, is the gaming dojo, because I don't think anyone calls their games room that.
The dojo of Shmup Pilot79. This actually could be like Dad and Lads Gaming. This could be game room number 2. It's actually the lounge. And I'm actually sitting on a car seat. Ghetto. Ghetto. Spare car seat for the Honda.
I tell you what, I don't know what Stu was sat in, but some reason the other day it recommended me one of Stu, 2 UK's videos from 7 years ago, and I thought, you know what, I'll watch it for a giggle because I don't watch people's back catalogues. But I don't know what was up with him, but he couldn't fucking keep still, man. He was moving here, there, and everywhere. He got ants in his pants or something.
Oh, I've got a bit of a stiff back, mate. I think I might have to do the same.
As long as it's the back.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Nothing else.
I've not been watching the Gebs.
You do get a bit excited by the Gebs, do you know?
I did last night, mate. Yeah.
So the first thing we always cover on the stream, what we'll do is I'll do the same format I always do. First question, the question will go to Veta first, then you, just to avoid any talking over each other. Yeah, it was Piles. It was Piles that Stu's problem was. He said they were playing him up then. So first of all, Veta, give us a view of what COVID-19 has been like in Holland. Have you been in lockdown? Are you in lockdown, etc., etc.?
Well, first thing that I thought that it wasn't gonna mean a lot, but then Formula One it got cancelled, and that's when I thought, oh fuck, this is really gonna turn into something. And then my employer said, well, everybody stay home. I work from home, and I thought I'd hate it, but I love it. So I am completely fine with the current situation. I don't like people anyway, so it's great that that they keep their distance from me because they think I'm ill or something. I mean, that's no different from normal. So no, I'm actually I'm just working from home. I do programming, so that's perfect to do from home. And I can walk away anytime. I can play a game. I can sniff the outside air. I can do what I want. I love it.
The thing is I think coming out of this COVID-19 is a lot of workplaces are going to decide people can work from home anyway. We don't need to pay for these office spaces. Just make everyone work from home.
So many things have become much clearer. We don't have to have an office. I have to sit there every day. I can't move. You got people all over the place. I don't like it anyway. So I love working from home, and we can all do it this way. No problem. You know how much I've saved on gas money? It's amazing.
I've not filled up my car in weeks. It's brilliant. That 30 quid that I put in at the beginning of COVID is still going strong.
It's great, isn't it? Yeah, I love it.
So you're just happy you don't have to pretend to be polite to people at work then, is what you're saying, Veta?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, we don't have a large office, but you always got people, looking over your shoulder, what's on your screen, if I'm watching a YouTube video, low key, there's always someone watching, and now I can just do whatever I like, and I still got my work done. I mean, it's no problem. So no, it's been great for me.
Nice. So how about you then, Dave?
Lockdown. Yeah, I got a phone call from the office today, or the office. I don't work in the office. Saying, yeah, how you doing? Still alive? I'm like, yeah, good. They're quite good actually. They're the company I work for. There's another YouTuber, funny enough, who actually works for the same company.
What YouTuber is that?
Shouldn't say his name. Don't know if he wants it out there.
Okay. Is he in the chat?
Burnout Culture. There you go. He works at the same firm as me. Yeah, he works for the same company as me. And they ring up each week, check how you're doing. Like say, make sure you're still alive, which was nice. I started chatting to the girl. I like to chat. And
you like the girls?
Oh, yeah. She ain't gonna be watching this, mate. But yeah. Eye candy. Yeah, so it's all good. Lockdown. Obviously, the channel it was born of the great lockdown of 2020. So yeah, onwards and upwards. I mean, I should be going back next Wednesday. I mean, yesterday I was like, hey, hold on a second, has it been 21 days? Because I should have been. I'm meant to be back to work today. No one's called me, but no, next Wednesday. So. Yeah, I mean, more than likely, what I'm doing, I'm training at the moment. I'm a HGV driver training, so I can't really have double up in the cab, 2 meter distance and all that. So I've got a feeling, unless they got some other job for me to be cracking on with, that I'll probably be off again for another 21 days. Hopefully, I kind of like to go back, but that game room isn't getting any further along. So yeah.
It's because you spend so long filming it. I mean, them.
Fuck me, yeah.
You know them brackets? I saw you putting them fucking brackets and screwing them shelves to the wall. I thought, fuck me, I'd have got that done in an hour. What's the fucking play now?
There was a wardrobe change. It was day 2 when I put the others up.
I was just
It
thinking.
looked pretty straight until the close-ups.
Yeah. It's the Victorian walls, mate. Yeah, they're out.
Well, I'm a plasterer by trade. That's my job. Like, so I know what Victorian walls are like. They're a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
Plus,
none of them
trick,
square.
You only need this much of a games room doing anyway to do. Like, I've got empty walls here, there, and everywhere. This is just this bit here, just for the video.
The backdrop.
Well, you know what? I've got 2 videos up where I did a green screen.
Why am I sticking your fingers up live on stream?
Sorry, 2. And I did a green screen, and I had someone else's game room behind me, and nobody noticed. Just a couple said, "Hey, that's Grubgun's game room." So, yep. Most people don't even notice. You could have nothing.
You could use mine, Highlander. They think you've been robbed.
No problem. Just send me a picture, and I'll do it.
Guess the games room. That could be part of the channel. Highlander. Guess the games room.
Awesome. Yeah, great.
Well, I was going to say something then. Oh, were you wearing gloves when you were putting them shelves and shit up? Marcus said you were wearing gloves.
First time, yeah. More than I was actually. I think it's, I didn't want to get. There's all brick dust already. They were second hand. Like everything I've bought has been from Facebook Marketplace, eBay, whatnot. So I was trying to. I didn't want to put marks on the wall. What you didn't see, or it might have been in the time lapse, was me going back with a damp cloth trying to get it off that magnolia.
Do you want to know a tip? Here's a little tip. It's nothing to do with gaming at all. If you're screwing a hole right in a wall, like to put a shelf up, get a little post-it note, stick it to the wall, and fold it up. So when you drill, all the little dust drops in there.
Oh,
look!
So you don't ever have to go dusting around the floor or nothing. I don't do it because I'm fucking really heavy-handed and I drill loads of holes at once. But if you're just doing a few bits, a little post-it note, or if you get the dustpan and brush, hold the dustpan while you drill, and it just all drops straight into it, so you never go around the.
That's a good idea. I got some satisfaction with the old Dyson. It was kind of like, I should have recorded that a bit more, like ASMR. It would have been quite.
You know what? Do you want to know the truth? Yeah, all the dust for all the fucking brackets to the top of here is the back of these, because I'm never taking them out anywhere.
Yeah, that's it.
No one's checking the back of these bookcases, so the dust can just stay there. The wood lice have got to have something to live on, haven't they?
Yeah, that's it.
So we've talked a little bit about lockdown, and Dad and Lads is taking the piss, saying it's Dana's DIY lockdown special. I can give DIY tips. They're not all very good. Like some of you could do with advice on your cable management. Your mate, is it
Lactobacillus prime? Yeah. Mark.
He's doing his redoing his games room, is he? And the wires, the back of there.
Oh yeah. I just leave it like that. I don't bother. I don't look there. Forget it. You're never going to get it right. And anytime you want to change anything, you can't. If you put ties about it, no way.
Yeah,
cable management.
I hide mine because really you're only looking at the screen anyway. If you're playing games, you're not looking at that cable that's fucking hanging down the back, are you?
Yeah. And I love cable.
It's only when you want to take a picture for Instagram or something that you think,
yeah, fuck.
Fucking look at all them wires. I remember the once actually, I put a picture on Facebook of my old game setup, and so someone commented who's nothing to do with gaming, they're just a friend of mine, and said, "Fucking hell, you're a tradesman. I thought you'd have built something to hide all them wires." I was like, "What the fuck's that got to do with anything?" Comment on my games, don't comment on my fucking cable management, you bastard.
I've seen Daz's stuff, he has everything tidy and nice, but he never moves anything. So that's cable management.
He's got nothing now, is he? He's what is it? Three arcade cabs he's got. That's
yeah, now.
He only needs 3 plugs, doesn't he? He can only play one at a time, so you might as well just plug them and unplug them. I'm going to ask this question because everyone's talking about it at the moment, and being as it's a hot topic, Streets of Rage 4. Have either of you ordered it? We'll go to Highlander first, or will you be ordering it and will you be playing it? So, Highlander, your opinion.
I had to look it up just now, so don't ask me. Is it good? What?
It looks really good. You can have online co-op play.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's on the Switch. It's on the PS4.
Windows even. I think it's on Steam then, or what?
It's on Steam, yes, it's on Xbox Gaming Pass, I believe. So if you've got Xbox Gaming Pass, it's on there.
I'd have to have a look. I don't think I've ever played a Streets of Rage game.
Oh man, everyone's about to turn off to my stream now, Highlander. What are you doing?
Yeah, but you need some controversy.
I have.
No, we don't want yes men. We don't want yes men. We want someone to say Streets of Rage is shit. Prove me wrong.
The one, do you want to know what the thing I like about the new one, the Streets of Rage 4?
Yeah.
Is any character that was in the original ones has been given like some middle-aged spread, which I think is really fucking good. Like, what's it called? The girl, she's got really big, thick thighs and everything now. Like, you know, she's aged a little bit compared to what she was before. And the guy's got a little bit of a gut on him now. He's not so ripped as he was. He's obviously laid off the roid since the 90s. They're saying press 1 to kick Highlander.
Yeah, a couple of guys have pressed 1 already.
They do this every night. Don't worry. The only person who ever gets kicked is Raz, and that's just purely for my own entertainment.
They can't take the controversy. It's just for a little debate, you know.
You have to have a mass debate, and controversy causes cash anyway. Apparently.
There we go.
But it's like a cel-shaded graphic, so it is worth a look. If it's on, I think Stu's been playing it on Steam.
I've never played.
If you speak to Pooty, he knows a way of getting it. So, Vouter, if you speak to Stu, I'm sure he'll help you out. But how about you, Dave? Are you getting it? Because
yeah, I saw. Funny enough, I saw a couple of screenshots. A few people on Facebook, you know, I'm friends with. One in Japan, another one in California. They both appear to have it, and straight off the bat, yeah, the graphics, the layout of it, very much. What is it like? Comic book cartoon is how it looks, and I thought, oh, that's interesting, different. I mean, yeah, I played Streets of Rage games back in the day. My brother had the Mega Drive, I had the Super Nintendo, so we had the best of both worlds between us. And yeah, it was a go-to. I'm sure. Arcades as well. We would have played it in the arcades back then. I don't recall playing Streets of Rage in the arcades.
I don't think it was in the arcade. I think Final Fight was Streets of Rage, wasn't.
Final Fight for sure. Everybody remembers what's his name? Old Haggart, wasn't it? Haggart.
Yeah, Mayor Haggard or something like that.
Yeah, that's it, Mayor. The Mayor.
He was in Saturday Night Slam Master as well. Quick question to Dave. Flashback TNT. Is Dave a Godzilla fan? I'm sure I can see Godzilla's legs. I already know the answer because I spotted him.
Yeah. Godzilla, I don't know if you can see that very well with this poor lighting. Yeah, I had this one when I was a kid, a young kid, primary school, 0 to 10, whatnot. And funny enough, one day I was looking up some Godzilla games. I got a couple of Super Famicom titles, and I saw him on there, and I was like, oh my god, it's obviously not going to be the one from a kid. Wouldn't it be cool if it was? But yeah, and I bought it. I paid. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, mate, I'm a bit of a, just like back in the day, a bit of a pirate. I probably shouldn't admit this online. But yeah, all the classic Godzilla movies. I think I downloaded a massive torrent of about, I think there's like 47 of the old school, like Japanese ones and whatnot. I'll watch like 2 of them. Like,
I vaguely remember them being shown late on a night. I want to say on Channel 4 TV.
Yeah. Oh, more than likely.
Ridiculously early hours of the morning and watching them, but
like all that other great stuff that was on Channel 4 late of the night when you're 12 years old, like it's usually French with subtitles.
I'm trying to think what else. I used to watch Monkey Magic as well on there. Monkey on late on Channel 4. So
Piggy.
Vouter's thinking, what are these two crazy English guys fucking on about? Is Vouter even still with us?
He froze up there.
Yeah, he's froze up. I'll just send him a text to read. Oh, hang on, he might be buffering. Vouter, you back with us?
Yeah, something. I tried to log into Steam, try to buy Streets of Rage, but it wouldn't let me. Kick me straight off the internet.
Don't buy it anyway. You need to speak to Stu. Right, that's it then. So Vouter says fuck Streets of Rage 4. Dave says he might get it.
Yeah, I'd like to.
I'll fucking admit, right, I've sat on the fence about it because we all know what it's like when they try and rehash something or they try and remaster something and you think, fuck me, this is going to be shit.
What's it
And
called?
I've left it till the last minute and it's really good. So I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to order both copies because I want it on my Switch for handheld and I want it on the PS4 as well because I think to play co-op, that is going to be the best way through the PS4. So tonight, once this stream's done, I'm going to be spending some money, which is something I said I wasn't going to fucking do during lockdown, but I want them games, so I'm going to order that. And I might order me a USB controller, wireless controller for my Mega Drive Mini. So I'm going to be spending some money. So don't you bastards go buying it. Leave some for me.
I'll send you an email, so it'll be fine.
So anyway, limited run doesn't actually fucking mean they ought to change their fucking name to we'll make as many available as possible that we want to sell run games, is for sure. Especially if Metal Jesus pushes them and makes them worth a lot of money. But other than that, what we'll do, we'll carry on in the same order. So when I ask a question, we'll get to vote all that. Those below me now, and it confuses me.
Sorry, I did a trick. It's gravity.
So basically, we like to talk a little bit about your gaming history, like when you got into gaming as young and like almost up till you started becoming a collector. So don't go into your collecting journey, if you know what I mean. Just your gaming journey and what you used to play when you were younger. Right. So don't rush the story. We all like to listen, and no doubt the comments will feed off what you say. That's for sure.
The first game that I ever first video game I saw was a Game and Watch game, and a friend of mine had it. I remember it was 50 guilders, which was a huge amount back then, and we were all standing outside this fast food place where we always used to congregate. And in that place, they also had the first arcade game that I'd ever seen. I didn't even understand what it was. Someone said, "Hey, you can play games in there." I thought, "Oh, cool, and I'll have a look." And but I had to put money in. I had to get my mind around that first. But that was Crazy Kong, which was the first arcade game. So to me, Donkey Kong isn't like the real Donkey Kong. Crazy Kong for me has always been like the Kong game. I didn't play that much because I didn't have any money, and I think all of my gaming after that has been aimed at trying to play games like Crazy Kong at home for nothing. So I think the first consoles that were around at that time were the video pack, and
I've seen your video on the video pack. I've got a couple of games for it here. This one looks a really shit maths one, though.
Oh, yeah, there's loads of shit games, but I mean, obviously the graphics are shit and the sound is shit, but the gameplay is always. I mean, for the couple of games that are good, the gameplay is always smooth and it's fun to play. But I didn't have a video pack because it was too expensive for me to buy, and my parents didn't have a lot of money, so I usually went to friends and played games there. And then somewhere along the line, my mom got me a video pack and with some games, and I played that thing to death. But I realized that it wasn't the arcade games, right? And I've always been looking for that arcade experience, but then at home. So I was always looking at Galaga and games like Crazy Kong and a couple of those, but I could never find any of them until the Commodore 64 came along. And a friend of mine, Frank, he got one. His parents were divorced, so his mom got him a Commodore 64, and his dad got him an Atari 2600.
Nice.
Yeah, so we used to, because both parents tried to buy him with stuff, and I got to enjoy both of the and this was years that I didn't have my own console. I just played them, at friends' houses. And when he got his Commodore, he had a friend of the family who also had a Commodore, and he gave him a load of tapes for to play during the summer holiday. And we thought we were smart, so we said, we're gonna try and copy all of these tapes, and we thought we were like being sneaky, and we copied all. So we pirated. These were pirated copies anyway. So we copied everything. We had thousands of games, and no manuals, and we spent weeks and weeks just loading games and trying them out, and that's how I got to learn like so many. I got so many games in my head, and so many good games that I never got to play properly because I didn't have the manual. But I learned programming that way first in BASIC, and I wanted to learn assembly and all that. So we spent years with that Commodore on tape until he got a 1541 disk drive. And years later, I got my own Commodore. I worked for it, and I bought my own Commodore. So it's basically all of that time was always arcade, Commodore, video pack. And then I think I went to school and I lost interest. We had PCs in school, and I thought that was interesting. So that was around the time I think that the NES came out. And I sort of heard about that, but I wasn't interested. And the Mega Drive and the N64 and the GameCube. I can remember the GameCube thinking, they just don't know what to do anymore. So they make this stupid cube, and it's supposed to be interesting. I was just not interested at all. And then years later, when YouTube came around, I watched what's that? Mark Bustler's show, Classic Game Room. And that's when I got interested in it again, and it just kept rolling around in my head. And I thought, why don't I just start playing these games again? And that's when the whole collecting thing started. But it's been only Commodore for me, and a little video pack.
We'll talk a bit about your programming in Commodore a little bit later, because I'm massively interested in that as someone who knows very little about programming and coding myself. So we'll definitely come back to that a little bit later, because I have made a couple of notes because obviously there was that game Soulless that I know you didn't program that, but you pushed that quite heavily on your channel. I remember that when you were really into that, and obviously you've had a long journey of a game that you're programming yourself, which we'll come back and talk to as well. So over to Dave, a little bit of your gaming history, as I say, everything up until you become a collector, really, because we'll have that as like a separate little story.
We've only got 2 hours, haven't we?
Yeah, mate.
I'm joking. I'm messing. Right, here we go. So I'm pretty sure my parents had the Atari 2600 because I remember Pong. I think I mentioned that in one of my videos, my first videos, briefly. So I would have been really young. But you'll know this, Dana. Remember Astro Wars, the little tabletop, Space Invaders.
Mate, you tell your story.
Yeah, okay. That was the first ever experience, and I mean, I think that my parents probably put me and my brother on that at the table.
That the one
it was us for hours. Oh yeah. I bought myself. Funny enough, I mean, they're not rare. There's tons of them on eBay if you're after one. It's how much you want to pay and what condition. But I managed to get one fully working. A pretty good deal on it. I'm sure it was like 25 quid, something like that. I needed a battery cover. Got that, obviously, more recently. Yeah, did so. Put it in. And then sometime later, there was a faulty one that weren't working. And I was like, oh, yeah, I might be able to fix it, in 2026 or something, after I've done the game room in 2025. Anyway, so I thought, yeah, box one, faulty, had the original instruction manual, because plenty of people have got the photocopies out there on eBay and whatnot. And again, I won that for a song really cheap. And I was like, now I have the complete one, and I'm happy again. It's another piece of. I always say this about old tech and like the Commodore 64. Something I don't actually own, but as a kid, after Astro Wars, it was a Commodore 64, the old beige bread bin, as they call it, I believe, and that's where it all began. Really, that's where it all began on a C64. There was a game my parents had, or that they bought, big box one. Some people might be aware of it. It was called, what was it called? Aztec Challenge. Aztec Challenge.
The bed. Now I'm going to stop you there, right?
Go.
I'm stopping you there, man.
Tell me more.
I got back into collecting, right, because I found this in my mum and dad's loft, right? This was my brother's from back in the day, yeah. And this is what, finding this in mum and dad's loft, the one Christmas, I spent hours playing this. And I thought, you know what? I used to love old games. So that's like where all this began. And I'm pretty sure there's a post on my Facebook saying that. But when you were talking about Commodore 64, yeah, my brother and his mates used to have one game that I remember them playing back in the day, massively competitive on it, and it was Aztec Challenge, and it's the only game that I shit you not. And that's when you were umming and on about that game, I was thinking it's out of like the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of games that were made on the Commodore 64, Aztec Challenge.
I've actually, mate, I've been on eBay looking for Aztec Challenge, and I saw it a couple of times in a box. I don't even think it was that expensive, to be fair. It was on the higher end. I should have bought it because it's the music. That's probably not a very good impression, but it was. But the music. I mean, as a kid, it was like adrenaline. Oh, you got to jump the arrows. And I remember my mum loved it, and she'd be playing it, and she'd get right into it, and then she'd freak out, and you'd have to maybe dodge a slap or something. But it was the one. It was the one. Sorry?
The guy that did Aztec Challenge also made Forbidden Forest. Did you play that?
Oh, I don't recall it, but I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Try that. Write it down. Forbidden Forest. It's
Forbidden Forest.
Yeah, it's the same kind of atmosphere. You'll recognize that it's made by the same guy. But Aztec
man.
I just can't believe the one game you mentioned is one that's stuck. So I remember my brothers and his mates being massively competitive against it. Who could get the furthest? The only other game I remember him playing was a game called Pirates, where you sail around the seas to different islands. Them were the only two games I remember my brother playing on the Commodore. Aztec Challenge. It was in a bigger box. It wasn't like a cassette, small cassette.
Yeah, it was. It was in the big box, and I remember suddenly, it's like when somebody there was a channel I was watching today for the first time. Forgive me for not remembering the full name. Goodwin's
Place.
Goodwin's Place. I watched his first video today on the Super Wild Card. It wasn't the Super Wild Card model.
Can I type something? No.
Yeah, you can type in the comments, mate.
Where can I
type at the bottom?
I wanted to ask Pete if he could sit again, or is he still hurtful there?
From when you took him into the Forbidden Forest.
Yeah. We said we never talk about that again, but he brings it up.
But I mean, getting away from Aztec Challenge. I went on YouTube to find the music, and as soon as I listened to it, it was like Time Machine, mate. Time Machine. Oh, I loved it. But yeah, Commodore 64, like yourself, Highlander. Back in the day, piracy it was rife. I mean, my dad had a Sony hi-fi system, and it had a CD player. This was like the first CD player we had in our house. And I remember I'm sure I did. I tried doing high-speed dubbing, like copying, and it like kills your ears and all the rest of it. But yeah, we used to go down to a game shop called Software Plus in Gravesend in Kent. Some people, there's a couple, I think there's some, I can't remember. There's somebody who's from Gravesend or lives near there, who was commenting last night on the stream, I think. But yeah, Software Plus, you go in there, you look at all the titles, and I'm not sure whether it was Commodore 64. I think it was Amiga, where they used to do the public domain releases, and they'd sell them for like, you could buy them for like, I don't know, 60p, something like that, £1 maximum. So we used to buy a lot of them. I used to always love like the classics. You'd get the Ocean. Sometimes I do those multi-packs where you'd get a few games in one. And I'm sure on the stream the other day, the guys were saying about it where, or on a video I watched, you'd look at the cover and be like, because that was all you had to go on, other than the magazines. If you was, when I was young enough, we didn't have, like whatever, 7, something like that. Probably we weren't getting the magazines then. So all you had was the front cover. Sometimes you'd get a screenshot on the back of the case, but if you didn't, it was just like, I'm trying to think of a good example, like Rambo or something. You know, all those.
If you did get a screenshot anyway, it was never from like the Specky or something or the C64. It'd be the Amstrad, nice and colours, or the Amiga,
best one.
or something like that.
I can't even remember any Commodore 64 games in the shops. I never even looked. I never even.
Oh yeah.
So why would I?
Yeah.
The only game for the Commodore 64 that I ever bought back then was what's it called? A Dragon's Lair.
Oh.
On tape, which I thought was a good game, and I still do.
Dragon's Lair, like the arcade game, Dragon's Lair. Was it Dragon's Lair?
Well, I bought it for the Commodore 64, so obviously it was nothing like
that. Yeah, of course. Was it Don Bluth or whatnot?
That one, yeah. That was $250 a game. That was crazy expensive in the arcade. So I thought, I'm going to have this. And it doesn't matter how much it cost.
Mate, literally the other day, I say the other day, it's probably 2 months ago, I bought Dragon's Lair on DVD. It's like the DVD game, you know, where you've got to press enter. Because I remember it on, I'm pretty sure we were playing it on the Amiga 500 back then. And it's the same thing. Like, you know, it wasn't really, in my opinion, there's not a lot of gameplay in it. You know, you had to press a button and then the next imagery would follow the cartoon or whatnot, you know. Nevertheless, seeing a cartoon on your computer, it was just a big deal back then, you know, massively. So,
Just a quick question for you both, even though Radley's just asking it to one person. What's your best C64 game? First to Wouter, then...
God damn it. The best C6 now or classic game?
You can't have one now because fucking obviously anything made now is going to be better, isn't it? Because they know what they're doing.
Yeah. The best C64 game. God damn it. Well, I'd have to say the games that excited me most back then were games like Test Drive.
Oh, I remember that.
I really thought I was in a Lotus. I mean, I thought that was ace, and but also like the California game. I played that to death. I loved that. I just thought it was ace. But is that the best game? I don't know, man. There's so many good games. And Paradroid. If you ask me now, I really like Paradroid. I didn't even know it existed. Impossible Mission, amazing. Hours into it, but I couldn't pick one. Impossible.
Oh, someone's mentioned a game I used to like back in the day. I didn't know it was on the C64, but my brother may have had it on the C64. Rick Dangerous.
Oh, I recognise the name.
Rick Dangerous is. God, I'm trying to think what it's like. They've made a very similar version for the Spectrum Next. It's a bit like a puzzler, really. Like, you know, I want to say it's like Switchblade, but it's not really like Switchblade. It's more of a puzzler sort of thing.
That's like a Montezuma's Revenge kind of game, right?
Yeah. I didn't know they got a release on a C64. I definitely remember playing it, though, so it may have been on that, but I may have had... Did I have it on my Amstrad? I don't know, but it may have been on the C64. I played it, to be fair. But
is that a new game? Is that a new game for this year? Oh.
No, there was Rick Dangerous, but Rick Dangerous 2 is the one that everyone remembers and was slightly better. But if you've not played it, Wouter,
I haven't.
Don't go and buy it. Pirate it some way.
Yeah. I can't say what I want to say now, but
yeah, Sega. I think I probably did have it for the Amstrad, and it did play really well. I think it was the Amstrad because, no disrespect, the colours really popped on it, and that would then say to me that it was on the Amstrad. But if it's on the C64, I imagine it plays well as well. It's like an Indiana Jones kind of thing, like.
Really, but this must have been a late game for the C64.
It would have been.
Yeah, because
I'm not even sure if it got an Amiga release or something like that. It may well have done.
It's got vertical scrolling and everything. I mean, this looks like Sam's Journey now. You know, this looks really good. I didn't even know this. Rick Dangerous 2. I've never played that.
Well, I think it should feature on your channel because, you know, when people on YouTube are looking for C64 opinions, you're one of the men to go to. So definitely.
I'm going to go on eBay and buy a copy now.
Well, don't do it now because you'll crash the fucking stream again.
Yeah, forget it.
But how about you, Dave? What's your favourite C64 game from back in the day?
I'll probably answer it in my Aztec challenge.
Yeah.
No. It's hard to think about the favourite one. I mean, back then we were playing everything. Amiga 500, different story. I mean, on C64, Commodore 64, wasn't there? Is it called Spin Dizzy or Chucky Egg? They made like a number of releases. It was on Amstrad as well.
Seymour was Seymour the one that was released.
Remember the egg? Remember the egg? Wasn't it Spin Dizzy?
There was Dizzy the Egg, but there was also like a knockoff one called Seymour as well. I believe that was released on the C64.
Where's Chris when you need him?
100% Dizzy would have been on the C64 as well, though.
Amiga 500. I mean, that's when we leveled up onto that. I think my dad got it for the family one Christmas. This was before my sister was even about. So, and it would have been when it first came out, the Amiga 500, the standard model, whatnot. But Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, this was one that me and my brother used to smash out all the time. We absolutely loved that. Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, that was the one. Really loved that game. I mean, I was going to save some, like you said, Dana, we could talk about this in other episodes, hopefully future subscribers and whatnot. But my old man, he's a legend, I'm telling you. We're kids. We are kids. I'm sure it was probably still primary school, 10 years old, if that, 9 years old. And he said, I'm going to take you guys to this computer club. And my cousin, who was about a year, 2 years older, Mark, I'm sure he's not watching, but out to you, Mark. And he said, oh, your cousin Mark and Gary, his best mate, go to this computer club in a hall in the back of a pub, and it's £5 to get in, which I guess, it was a few quid even back then, 30 years ago.
Oh, definitely, yeah. You're probably talking about 15, 20 quid in inflation.
Yeah.
Now.
Once a week, I think it was a Thursday night. We've got school next day. But my old man's like, yeah, me and my brother, he takes us there. We go in. There's no kids there. It's all adults. Yeah. It's all and like late teens.
It's got people into his forbidden forest.
I think Jimmy Savile was in the corner and his eyes lit up when we entered the room. But yes, another story. And but yeah, we went to this computer club, and of course everybody's bringing their 14-inch, CRTs, monitors, whatever they were using, fold-out tables, and it was just Amiga 500s everywhere. And we go, and your dad had the old disc boxes, and me and my brother, my dad would get us a bag of crisps each, he'd get himself a pint, and he'd set the computer up, and we'd go around, you'd look through people's disc boxes and go, oh, can I borrow that one, mate? They'd say, yeah. You take it away, X copy, bang. You copy out the game and you go back, and me and my brother were forever getting those little black and white semi-porn, almost like GIF images, and we sometimes they were on 2 discs. We're fucking blown away by it, mate. This is great.
This could have been my story. This is amazing. It's so insane, including the fact that you think you're in a weird community of grown-up men. It's amazing. And the story, funny enough, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was going to do a little thing on my episode. I mean, out to flashback, because I was going to say to him, I was going to do like a video response on Amiga 500, because all these memories started flooding back when he was talking about his ones. And I remember one day we went there on a Thursday, normal deal. We got boxes of blank discs ready to roll, just copy everything. Piracy was rife, and this one guy had this table set up in the corner, and people were crowding round. And we're kids. Oh, what's going on over there? You're trying to look over the older people and whatnot. The adults basically. And it was a Sega Mega Drive. A Sega Mega Drive. It wasn't even out in the UK, so it must have been a Japanese one, I imagine. And it had Altered Beast, and people were like looking at this. We were looking at it like, what the hell is this? Amazing. As I say, today we've got games coming out left, right, and centre. There's consoles come out a lot more regularly than they did back then, and this was like a big deal. And yeah, I was watching Flashback. I'm sorry that I forget the names. Flashback TNT even. Yeah, all good, man. And yeah, and I was thinking all about it, and it's amazing the number of YouTubers. Obviously, since Roller X Core mentioned you
mentioned my channel to you, Dane, or whatnot in these groups, and you guys sort of did a bit of a shout out. Tootie, I've been watching Tootie for years, and I added him on Facebook like a proper stalker. And he messaged after he seen my channel. He messaged me saying, "Oh yeah, get on Dane the stream in the chat. It'd be good for your channel." And I mean, that's all good. So happy days.
So was the Amiga where you finished, or did you get yourself a Mega Drive?
No, I mean Amiga 500, specifically Christmas 1989. I wanted a Nintendo NES, and I've been asking my parents for it for ages. I got the the action set with the gun, Duck Hunt, Mario double cartridge. I was asking for this for ages, and they said, "Oh, we'll see." I was young enough still then. I would have been 10 years old, I think, and I would have been naive enough to think, "Oh, I wonder if I'll get it." 2 weeks before, my cousin James, he had a Game Boy with Super Mario Land and Tetris. And I went around his house one day and I had a go on this. I come back, I was like, "Mum and Dad, I don't want a Nintendo NES anymore. I'd like a Game Boy, please. And if you can I have Mario Land?" And they were like, "Well, you'll have to wait and see." And looking back at it now, they'd already bought me the Nintendo, hadn't they? And
they were thinking, "Fucking hell, have we still got the receipt?"
That little see you next Tuesday. And so Christmas morning rolls around, I get the Nintendo. I'm of course totally happy. I was like, yeah. Oh mate, as soon as I saw Nintendo, I was happy anyway. And I remember the first game I bought. I think I commented on somebody's video the other day about this. I'm sure it was Simon's Quest or Castlevania. I bought it from Dixon's. I think I had £20 or £30 Christmas money from family. And it was either $19.99 or $29.99 in Gravesend. And I bought that game, took it home, played it, and I think I played it throughout the night. I had the volume down so my parents couldn't hear me. And I completed the game overnight. I was like, "Oh, I've done it." I went back to Dixon, seeing if I could, exchange it. "Oh, no, Sonny. It's open. It's open, isn't it? You can't." I was like, "Oh, all right." So I actually took it to, back then, I'm sure it was a cash converters or the like. And I'm a kid. They got no qualms. You don't need ID. You don't need to be 18. Certainly, I think it was Dartford, the next town on. Anyway, I took it in there. So I paid like £20 or £30 for this game. I'm a kid. And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'd like to trade this in. Like, what could you give me?" Blah, blah, blah. I think they give me like £4. I was like, "How did yesterday?" I said, "It's brand new. I've got the receipt." I didn't care. And I was like, "I'll take it." And I'll just have to save up for the next one. But yeah.
I'm going to throw this out there. Super Mario Land on the Game Boy and Super Mario Land 2 are the best two Mario games, I think.
Awesome.
Two of the 2D platformers, right? I think Mario Land and Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy are the best, for sure. I've just got a quick question for Dave while he's talking. From Dylan, Hyper Trigger X. If you don't know his channel, he's big into shooters like yourself. What made Dave go all in on the shoot 'em up genre? So, quick question there.
Yeah, R-Type. And then, funnily enough, I probably played R-Type on Commodore 64. I don't have a memory of it, but I'm sure we would have, because it was, like I say, that game was released on everything and everywhere. One game I remember from childhood that I played on the Amiga 500 was, and I can't remember if it was just Xenon at the time. I don't know if any of you remember that. It was like a
was it Xenon 2 that was the more popular one?
Well, Xenon 2 is on the Mega Drive, and I bought that.
And it's on the Master System as well, I think.
Yeah, I think it is actually. And I bought it on the Mega Drive. As soon as I saw it, it was just like, again, nostalgia, memory unlocked, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Yeah, it's the game," because it had like the worms coming out the wall. I remember this vividly on the Amiga. So really, R-Type and Xenon, or Xenon 2, if you will, that was what got me back into the shoot 'em ups. I mean, it is a long story, to be fair. Probably 20 years ago, so when I was about 20, I was buying Super Nintendos boxed off of eBay for 25 quid off, free delivery or whatnot. Cheap as shit. I started stacking them up in the loft in black bags, and I had one set up that I used to play. Mate, there's probably too much to chat about. Like I say, Super Wildcard, I'm going to do an episode purely on that, because I've got some stories.
I think
stories,
Mike,
mate.
without further ado, remember Xenon 2 had this thing where didn't they actually have a song or a beat that was made by a chart group? I can't remember. I want to say it was Master Blaster or someone like that did the music.
That's yeah. I think you might be right. If you look on the back of your copy, Dana, I think it might even say it on it. But
I think it does. But I was
if
just
you've got it to hand,
I've got it.
I think I had the vinyl for a while, and Raz has it now. I gave it to Raz.
the vinyl for Xenon 2.
Don't give anything.
Xenon. Oh,
Yeah. Raz has it.
Amazing.
Mega Blast. Mega Blast with a.
Oh, look at that.
That's the game. I'm trying to think.
Mate.
Someone will tell me in the comments. Bomb the Base, apparently.
There we go.
You asked me earlier as well, Dave, if I had any more of the other PAL shooters. I only have another two. I
thought you'd have that one.
And this one, I think, is absolute dog shite.
Oh, really? I actually bought that for Xbox 360 and I think PlayStation 3 as well. Again, I've not actually played it, but I remember when I was looking up the footage on it on YouTube or whatever, and I was like, oh, it looks good. So
I don't like the way it handles. I don't like the way it handles. That's just me personally.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a helicopter, isn't it? Which is always weird playing.
Yeah, it's the way it swings and shoots. And
yeah.
It's like this and like this.
Yeah, it's too much for me.
That's a girls' game. Girls' game.
Girls' game, is it?
Yeah.
Coronavirus got me. Joking aside.
So you're a big R-Type fan like myself, I remember.
Yeah, like you said, R-Type for life, wasn't it? Yeah.
Salamander was another one.
Yeah, Salamander. Funny enough, I've been looking to get that on, like getting the Super Famicom cartridge of that, and also
Famicom, it's on the Famicom.
It's on the Famicom and the Nintendo NES has got a release as well.
Yeah, I've got the Famicom cart. Can I reach?
I'm watching a couple on eBay now. I think around about 40 quid, but got to watch it.
Everyone's going to be
on this furlough, 8% salary.
Everyone's going to.
Oh, Musha! Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've got that same as yours. I think. Well, I don't know if it was original. I did buy a repro of Musha. Definitely.
I made it myself.
Oh, sound. Have you got the little the ROM? What do you call it? ROM coder.
Yeah, no, I had a friend do the programming because
awesome.
But the repro that I actually bought was a Musha LS, but I bought a cheap repro and that was that was shit. It broke, so the chip came off, and I found a friend who had one of these EPROMs and he burned the chip for me and I made the art and I had the box and now I got a fake copy.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, nothing wrong with reproduction. I mean, like say on furlough, 8% salary, we can't all be weighing out big money for some games,
Yeah.
You can't be saying stuff like that with purist collectors in the.
Yeah, I know. don't get me wrong. I've got some big hitters in my collection. I had to go without food for days.
Why is it when we talk about
maybe 7 days, whatever.
When we talk about food, homegrown is the best thing you can get. Homegrown Musha. This is.
I thought you talking about Amsterdam.
House made. Yeah, that too. It's legal,
Yeah, I know.
What I was going to say about you, Wouter, is I look at you as you, and there's a phrase in England like a tinkerer, like you like to do things yourselves, like you made your own joystick and stuff like that. And obviously, like you're making your own games now and stuff like that. I have a lot of respect for that, and that will move us into. Tell us about your programming and the game you've been working on. You've been working on that 3-4 years now. Tell us.
It's kind of a project, and I can't get out of the impression that I'm making the game, but I'm not. It's called Supernatural. The game was made by Georg Rottensteiner, who has made Joe Gunn and who actually made Solus. And he made Supernatural, which is known as Guns and Ghosts. But he did an entire blog of 100 steps of how he made the game. And I went through these 100 steps and looking at them, and I thought, well, no one's going to read this and know how to actually program a game. So I thought I'd teach myself something by going through these steps and just making videos of it. So I started making video, but making 100 videos, it's going to take me a long, long time. And I sort of lost interest for, well, about a year, I think. 14 months went by and I didn't make any videos, but I've just started up again. So, and I go through the code step by step, and you can watch me make, tiny little steps like how to do a death animation and how to do the enemy behavior, how do we do hit detection, all that. And you can learn something, and you can understand how a game is made, and it's not difficult. It's not very complex game, but it is an actual game, and it's fun to play.
Cool.
So how far away are you from getting it done? What stage are you at now?
Of the 100 steps, I've done 37 steps now. So we've got the basic level building, we've got the moving around, jumping, hit detection, enemy behavior, couple of levels. We've got the high score table. So we got a lot. We just have sound to do, and just develop the game further. And once I have that finished to a point that I can say, okay, just by changing a couple of graphics, I can make a Highlander game. And this is how all these people work. They make like a basic set of routines that they can reuse, because they're not going to write the jumping code again. They're not going to write the collision detection code again. They just reuse it and just rearrange it, and they have a new game. So that's
is that your plan eventually, to make a Highlander game and put it into production, or small circulation?
If you look at Antonio Savona, he makes games basically for free, right? And he makes a production quality game. If you look at his latest Fix It Felix release, he does that all for nothing, right? So I don't think there's really money in making retro games at the moment. The people who ask money, they don't really make anything in the end, but they make the boxes and they make the cartridge, that all, so they have to get that covered. But if I made games, I'd probably do it the same way. Just make downloadable games and give them away.
Okay, well, if that's the case, make sure you send me a file and I'll get it playable at one of the UK events like Revival or something.
Oh, yeah.
I know the guy Duncan who brings all these Commodore 64s. So it'd be great if we could have just your game playing on one of them. That'd be a cool feature, and have a little banner up or something saying on how you created it. That would be great. And then just a link where people could download it and get it circulated. That'd be superb.
No problem.
Couple of questions been asked today. Further up, let me read them. Question: what is the most expensive shooter Shmup Pilot79 owns?
Oh,
so now I'm trying to work out how much.
Yeah, there's a couple of big. It depends what the prices are at the minute. I've got a Barra for PS2 mint. I mean, when I was building my collection, everything I would always be looking for. OCD, whatever. Box complete. I want the disc to be flawless, mint if I can, and so I'd always be looking for that. And this is why my collection, I mean, it's been building for six years. I say it's been in storage for 6 years. I would basically add games to a box over time, mark it up, inventory, up in the loft, forever dreaming of the game room. And to be fair, it's almost like self-torture, but because I've been waiting all this time, still to this day. I mean, I've got the full Xbox 360 cave shooter shmup collection, Japanese, PAL, both, all are going to be mint. This is just my collecting OCD. But believe it or not, I'm yet to play a single one. But I've been waiting for this day when I've got three young daughters. I mean, I love my daughters. Big shout out to them. I don't know if you can see that. There they are. Beautiful.
You always feature a picture at the end of your videos, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, that's my little daughter, my 5-year-old Ava, my little blondie. And so obviously I just didn't want to have a setup where, not that where my children would interfere or whatever, but I just wanted a place. I lived with 4 women. I just wanted a man cave. I just needed somewhere where I could get away to and have my little nostalgia memory trip, and obviously play the games that I'm interested in. Again, that's a long story, but we'll go into it another time.
But
So yeah, Ibarra, PS2, and probably the second most expensive one would be Raiden Fighters Aces on Xbox 360. That was a big game. I had 2 of those at one point, and I sold one off to inject some funds into buying some more games. But yeah, go on, Dana.
So that'll answer the question to, obviously, I think it was Dylan and Sega Saturn Lad and Big Game Alley was interesting because Big Game Alley likes to flex his spending. He's got a complete Mega Drive set if you've not heard him mention a fucking million times.
Wow.
But I was going to ask you something now and my fucking mind's gone. So I'll come back to that in a bit when I fucking remember. So what we'll move on to now is we'll talk a little bit about your YouTube journey. So we'll start with Wouter Highlander because you've been knocking around a fair few years. So who was you watching before? What made you get into it? And just talk your YouTube journey, like, you know, the experience, how things have changed maybe.
Well, the most influential channel that I watched was Classic Game Room. But the old videos where he'd compare like an Xbox 360 to an Atari 2600, you know, and that just made that got me back into gaming because I thought I find this stuff interesting and I want to do something with it. And I was watching also this God, what's his name? Some Canadian guy. He's pretty big. I can't remember his name now. But they were all Americans and Canadians, and when I got to making videos, I got people watching me that were mostly from the UK, none of the Americans. So I think it was Evo Haler who watched one of my videos and told a couple of other people that I had a channel, and I didn't know what I wanted to make a channel about. You know, it was just about gaming and I think back then it was mostly pickups. Most of the videos that were interesting were pickup videos. So I started picking up games, and I found that that time, that was 6 years ago, I could buy games in the shop that was, you know, old games that were cheap as shit, you know, and that got me really excited because I was still basically hoping to play games for cheap, and I still like that. So not spending a load of money on gaming stuff. So but I started getting excited. You know, I watched a Champion 2D Rob with his PS3 collection, and I you know, every game that he showed in one of his videos, I got them all because I was just getting excited watching YouTube, and in the you know, in the time that I've been making videos, I bought a lot of stuff, but I didn't really play any of them. So I've also sold many of them, and the core of the thing that I'm doing here is still just Commodore 64, you know, and the programming. That's just what I love. So over time, it's gone from picking up stuff and trying to getting in touch with a couple of other YouTubers, trying to be a member of the community, and I think it's going to end up where it started, just Commodore 64.
What I will say, and I mentioned to you this off stream, when there is some sort of opinion being put out on YouTube, your video is one of the ones that I like to listen to if you're talking to, because I think you're the complete opposite to me. You're very level-headed. When you talk about like some sort of situation or something changing YouTube, I listen to you because you take a very level-headed approach to it, and you're very sensible, and you obviously think a lot about it. Whereas I don't know whether it's to do with my age or just because I'm a fucking idiot. I'm very gung-ho and going head first with my heart on my sleeve sort of thing. Like, but as I say, like I mentioned, like when you've answered people's questions, like, is there too many YouTubers, the demonetization, your opinion is always one I respect and go to, and I'm probably not alone in that with people in the comments and stuff like that. I know you don't want your channel to solely be about that, but it is a good part of your channel. Like, you know, you give a good response.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't scour YouTube watching for controversial stuff, but I'll just see something, and it'll sit in my mind. And if it sits in my mind a couple of days, I'm thinking, what the hell is wrong with this? Why do I not agree with what is happening? And I'll form an opinion, and if it takes if it goes away, if I forget about it, then there'll not be a video. But sometimes it's just stuff, and I think, no way, man, this is not okay. And I'll just want to say it, and I'm not out to hurt people. I just want to say my thing, and I'm always afraid when I upload something like that I'm going to get a big backlash or whatever. But I hardly ever do. I got mostly people saying, I actually agree with that, or I'll, at best I'll have a discussion with someone, but it never turns ugly. So it's just a good way of saying, this is how I feel about it, and I'll get it out of my system, and that'll be it.
No, I totally agree, and I think I don't know if it's your voice, the way you talk is quite calming, and you give a reasonable response, and I just respect those sort of videos when you do it, and as I say, I think you put your opinion over, and that's brilliant, to be honest. And I'd try and say well done on that. So how about you, Dave? Because you're fresh on the tube. Tell us your YouTube journey, not only as a tuber now, but like as a lurker in the comments and commenting and stalking on Facebook.
Week 3.
You are,
for years, as I say, but whilst building his collection, I would say probably, it's got to be about 6 or 7 years that I've been following a number of channels. Daz Cajones Deloro was one. I was a bit gutted when he shut his channel down, because unlike yourself, Dana, I do like to go back and watch some of the videos again. But so I was quite glad when 2.0 come out, because I was like, he's back in the game.
We'll never be rid of Daz.
I know. Honestly, he's somewhat local to me, really. I mean, I bought a few games off of him back in the day. R-Type, Third Lighting, Super Famicom, Mint, box complete. Obviously, similar to me, he likes his stuff tidy.
Can we all just take a moment to remember Daz when he was the floating head, though?
Oh, but not the hands. That I
loved it.
I just couldn't get why he got into a complete green screen suit and just filmed his head. I didn't get that.
I just want to put the image now on anyone who's ever met Daz in person of Daz in a green morph suit. That's the only thing I want to put in anyone's head. Is Daz in a green morph suit with a hand.
Determined. He's determined, yeah.
So it's the usual suspects for me. There's Daz, Cybersnake7, Jay. I really love to watch his stuff. Obviously, Tutor UK, Alex, Nintendo Arcade. He was one I actually watched a lot, and a bit of the reason for that is obviously I'm from Kent, South London, and moving up here to the Midlands. I mean, there's actually a hell of a lot of Southerners and people from Kent. I was blown away when I first moved here, but I actually used to watch. Not only were his videos good, I used to love it when he went down and did the old. Meet some of the YouTubers with his cream cake and his Sid James laugh. That had me every time. And honestly, I felt a little bit at home. I'll be fair with you. I get a little bit homesick. I spent 30 years back in Kent, and so it's nice to hear that southern accent. And so I mean, there is a lot of. There's a video I watched late last night before I dropped to sleep. Which was it
one because that's what I usually do.
I watched Big Game Al, actually. I watched one of his videos and I thought it's cool. He actually gave me a shout out. So Al, thanks for that, mate. I really appreciate it. And oh god, I can't believe I can't think of the name now. Nintendo Retro Dave Nintendo.
That's it, Retro Dave Nintendo, yeah.
Retro Dave Nintendo. I remember some of his first videos where I think he's a painter and decorator, and he went out to this job and it was a shithole of a place, and he was filming in there, and I love all of that, like on the wall kind of documentaries almost. It's not quite a documentary, but you know what I mean. I love that he was filming that, and I actually went to his channel last night because I just suddenly was I was talking to Alex in that chat when Russ's chat on his stream, and I went over to Dave's channel. And I think he ain't uploaded a video for like 3 months, something like that. I don't know, he got big into his arcades and whatnot. And it's difficult to watch everybody on YouTube. I mean, everybody says that. I mean, God, I don't know when I'm back at work, gosh, I'm going to have even less time. But
there'll be a few less videos uploaded. Like, obviously, once lockdown's finished, I won't be doing this stream. It's 5 out of 7 nights a week. I've spoken to Retro Dave Nintendo today, actually, because he's purchased something for himself, which I won't give away. It's not gaming, though. And the guy had got some other toys because he knows I buy and sell and collect toys. So he sent me a message today, and Dave's all right, man. I've had a good chat with him over.
Yeah, he's sound.
So what made you want to do a channel yourself? And can I ask, right? I'm sure I've seen you at gaming markets or events.
Yeah, I was actually talking to my mate today about this. Yeah, because he came up basically to move that BO Vision 332. I mean, I try. I'm not weak, but I'm also not Jeff Cates.
Is that the one with the stand? Is that the one with the stand?
No. Fucking 32-inch widescreen job. It's been on the floor
with a DVD on the top. With a DVD on the top.
Oh no, DVD. It's got 3 SCARTs on it and 1 AV connector up the front. But I was trying to bench press lift this thing. I cut my arm and everything. No way. I tried about 3 times. And then I messaged one of my mates who lives around the corner. I was like, because he borrowed some tools, fix his car, whatnot. And I said, oh, any chance you can bring them tools back? And also, I need help with this TV. I said, don't worry, there's no stairs involved or basement. I've got a basement here, cellar. Anyway, yeah, he came round. We put it up there. Job done. I lost my train of thought. YouTube, yeah. So I said to him, I went, oh, yeah. I went with him to this gaming event. I wish I could remember the name of it. It begins with I. It's not a big retro game. Insomnia, yeah. It's in Birmingham. Yeah.
NIA, I think it is.
I think I went a couple of years ago. It might have even been last year. I've got some photos. I'll put them on one of my videos. We're in front of this big Street Fighter 2 thing. I went with him, his missus, and their teenage son. And that is actually the only gaming event I've been to. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm well aware of them all, and it's been difficult before with family and stuff, but it's something I definitely want to do. So yeah, you haven't seen me, must be my twin brother or something.
I can't believe there's few ugly bastards like that.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, but watching all these channels, getting on YouTube. So watching all these channels, I actually created, as I say, Alex, Daz, 2E, Alt Cybersnake, 7J, all those channels and more. I'm sorry I don't remember all of them. Bitted 1000. I've been watching him for years as well. I mean, I'm a big fan of his. I basically set up Shmup Pilot79. Funny enough, when I put my first video up, it says, it says on YouTube, you've been on YouTube since XYZ. I set that channel up May 2017, 3 years ago, literally almost 3 years ago to the month. And it took me 3 years to put a video up. But so I had full intention of doing something. And on my first video, I kind of said I really wanted to do it as a kind of like a diary for my daughters, something that they could look back on, see what their dad was up to. I mean, it's only been like 7 months. I don't live with them anymore. I separate from their mother and whatnot. I mean, we're still great friends and everything. So out to you, Rachel. And literally, I couldn't be that far away. I rented a house literally across the street, so that I can see them from here, literally, which is great.
And you didn't have far to take your games,
eh?
And you didn't have too far to take your games.
Exactly, mate. You saw the attic loft video. that BO Vision 32, I carried across the street on my own, but I just can't get it above my waist.
What I will say with the Bang & Olufsen's, like I've moved 3 of them, man, and they're heavy. I had one with the like triangle speakers at the front that's on the motorized stand.
Yeah,
I had one of those for 4 or 5 years, and it wasn't until the day I sold it that I saw that it had ports at the front. I'd been spending 4 years climbing around the back of it. And it wasn't until, because I had to move it on my own. When I moved it before, I moved it with my dad, so we carried it up together. It wasn't.
It's definitely.
I picked it up and I was like,
fucking heavy.
Years I could have just been plugging into the front instead of going around the back.
I'll tell you something. Yesterday, right? Facebook Marketplace, I absolutely love that place. I mean, it's like crack for me. It's an addiction. I'm just looking for deals. I'm like, oh yeah, like anything, literally anything. I'm like, oh, and someone put on there a 32-inch Bush CRT. She's literally round the corner, up the road. Bush 32-inch CRT, £10. I was like, oh, I don't need it. I've got how many tellies have I got? I was like, oh, I could put it in the basement and do a little setup for the girls. Something. I mean, I'm not a CRT, aficionado. So I mean, Bush. I've always probably, when I look back, I'm a big Sony guy. To be honest with you, Sony's like my brand, if you will. I'm a bit of a brand whore for that. But the Bush, I was like, oh, it's probably not going to be that, not that great a brand. But £10, I'll take it. I turned up round there, and I know we're on lockdown, not meant to leave the house. I was like, I had to look after the girls while their mum was at work. I'll get them in the car. They don't have to leave. They're in the quarantine zone in the car, and I'll go round there and I'll pick the TV up. Went round there. She had the manual for it, the remote. Her son came down and she's like, "Hey, look, you lift it." And I went on the floor. I was like, "I might be all right." I was like, "Oh, I might not be all right." It's sitting in the car now. It's out in the car now. I should have got my mate Lee, who was round today, to help me, but I was like, "You can stay there. You can stay there for the minute. I don't need it out."
It's like buying a piano. They're always free. You just have to come pick it up.
Yeah, that's it. 7th floor. Yeah.
Mine was 40 kilos, and I had to carry it down a flight of stairs on my own. I nearly fell down with it. It's so heavy. It didn't even fit in my fucking car when I had it. Jeez.
That's the word. That's it. CRT problems, isn't it? The weight.
I had one of the 32-inch. Literally, I didn't even. I was giving it for free. A 32-inch Bang & Olufsen. It had the DVD player in it, and I only wanted it because it had this remote that everyone's after.
Yeah. Oh, mate, yeah. I got two of them.
Oh, okay.
But it had that with it. I didn't want the.
Where's mine? Where's mine? It's in the game room.
Gotta have one, dude.
I got two of them. A quick story on that, yeah. When I picked up the MX-7000, I had to drive again, maybe 60 miles, something like that. I think it was £40. I was like, he goes, yeah, it's got the remote. Now, you guys probably already know this, and some others out there will as well. If you look up on eBay for that remote control, often just the remote control is over £100 all day long. And it's like 40. Actually, no, I got one of the remotes with that BO Vision 332, which was £40. It'd be interesting actually, because when I went to this lad's house, I think he lived with his parents. It was like, I don't know, 18, 19. But he had a little game room, and it was literally in a cupboard, and he had boxed Master Systems.
Yeah, not Master.
Because I'm like, oh yeah, I used to have a Sega Master System, and his little setup in the cupboard was amazing. I walked up there to get his telly, and I looked in there, and I was just like, oh wow, this is what I dream of, a game room. Even if it is in a cupboard, I'm up with that. I'm up for that. Yeah, but those remote controls, I got two of them, and I was like, if one goes 40, I've got a backup.
But I literally got that 32-inch with a DVD player for free because I wanted to for my MX-4001 or something. Winning. But I had to get rid of the telly, so I gave it to my mate Liam. Right, my mate Liam, who helped me move it, and he helps me with all the events. I gave it him, and then he goes, "Well, where am I going to get a remote?" I went, "I don't know." That's
eBay, mate, 20 quid, and they do the old the cover that goes on it, and it like FrameMeister. Yeah. No worries, universal. I just don't think you can get into the settings menu. I don't think you can operate the what do you call it?
Yeah,
service menu.
Yeah. So anyway, Raz has asked me twice, and he does do my shit.
Yeah, I see it.
Can you ask Router when he's coming to Sweden? So when are you going to Sweden, Router?
It's gonna happen. This is one of the only destinations that my wife actually wants to come with me. So it's gonna happen. We're gonna go on holiday in the Netherlands this year. Next year, I'm just gonna try for it. I mean, we don't have any plans next year yet, and it sounds great, and we all want to do it. So definitely gonna happen.
So there you go, Raz. That's your answer. Stop fucking asking now in the comments. Pompey Games Room, Sean, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. What, in the opinions, are the best CRTs out of interest? I've got a small Sony broadcasting monitor, which is only 9-inch. That's great for my Spectrum and my 8-bit stuff. And I got my Bang & Olufsen for my 16 and further up until about PS1. PS2 I use. But you guys, if you have an opinion, if Highlander wants to go first.
Yeah, why don't the B&O? I've got an MX7000 here, and it doesn't do NTSC, and I've got an old Philips match line here that does do it. So these are such advanced TVs. Why don't they do NTSC? That's the only gripe I have with them, because it's almost I can't connect everything to it. I don't know. It's a great thing, but. And it's hard to operate. It's got like I've got two SCARTs on the back, but it doesn't have a button for easy switching to the other channel. How does that work? You have to shift, and why is that?
I don't know. I've only managed to get one of my SCARTs working as well. I don't know how to get that second.
Router, you say. That's all right. I was just going to say, I think it was the MX7000 that I picked up. It was amazing. I got the original receipt from B&O, and it's like, it was like £2,600. And I was just like, wow, this original receipt. I mean, I love all stuff like that. Roller X-Core, I'm pretty sure it was his video that I watched. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he was looking at he had some receipts in his games. He was just like, let's have a look. I think it was like a cash convert as one or something. But I love stuff like that. If it's got the original receipt in the box, I do it now. Games I buy from eBay, I fold up the little delivery note, I slip it in the case. I'm just like,
Yeah, I do the same thing.
In the bin, man. Just put it in the bin.
I do the same thing Dave does. I keep them for no reason.
I see the girls drawing some stick man on it, like, get the fuck back. Nah, I've got other drawing paper for them.
Do your girls play games, Dave, or don't they?
They do. I actually did a video the other day, which would have been Saturday, because they were around here. Their mum's at work. Dad, can we play Street Fighter 2? They love Street Fighter 2 on the Capcom Classics collection on PS2. I let them play it. And they're having I got the arcade sticks out and everything. Give them the authentic experience, yeah. Go on, mate.
No.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Anyway, I let so they're playing away. I actually videoed them, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going to slip this in, but I want to put this in one of my videos, because one of my girls, Myla, she's 7. When she beat her sister, she says, like even yesterday they wanted to play. I had them yesterday, and they were like, I want to play. She was like, in the car, I'm going to be Blanca. I love Blanca and all this. And when they were around here, I videoed them, and she turned around, like when she beat her sister, she turned around like the Exorcist and went, "Wah!" And I was just like, I've got this on video. Yes. So I will share it. But,
yeah. Well, that's good, because mine doesn't care. Mine doesn't care anything about gaming. So.
Yeah, mate. It's all my fault, mate. I've just been putting it in front of them, to be fair. And yeah.
There's worse hobbies they could have, though, to be sure.
For sure.
To be honest, if they want the newest game, who are you to not buy it them? And then you can play it as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my oldest daughter, Phoebe, she loves Minecraft, yeah? And she plays it on her little Amazon Fire tablet. So I got a PS4. They haven't got a PS4 or any consoles over there. And I was saying to her mum the other day, I think we should maybe get her a PS4, because her mate, one of her friends at school's on it with Minecraft, and she's so good. I mean, she's saying, I'm doing this, Dad, I've got all these diamonds, and I don't play it, all this stuff. And I said, and I say to her, I'm so proud of you. I mean, Phoebe, my oldest daughter, she's the gamer. Yeah, she's smashing out the games. She loves YouTube and everything like that. She's commented on a few of my videos. I set her up a little channel, and her sister, her middle sister, she's a dancer, natural rhythm. I mean, self-taught. She is really, really good. And then my little Ava, my youngest daughter, she's definitely pumping the Shmup Pilot79 blood. We call her Action Ava, mate, because she's got zero fear. She just, mate, I'm very proud of her. But yeah, they love it. They love gaming. I actually picked up Minecraft for PS3, Facebook Marketplace, for £10. For my daughter, I thought I'll pick her up a PS3 at some point. And I was looking on eBay. I've been watching 2 that I bid on. And I think one went yesterday for like £20. And one, I'm not sure if it's ended yet today, but it's about 19. So I was like, yeah, score, £10 mint, no scratches, nothing. I'll shut up for a sec.
No, mate. Good beer, some passion, man. Really is, and I'm glad you keep it. And you know, people are learning more about it because you're new to the tubes, and we can see you've got a passion, man, and that's only a positive and a brilliant thing. I was going to have a question for Wouter. Now, you've been to Blackpool. How many times have you been to Blackpool? Were you there last year?
No, I wasn't last year, but I've been twice, and I've been to Manchester once. And the first time was such a party. You know, all the people that I watched on YouTube, and the first time I met them, you know, you get that feeling that everybody has, that you immediately feel like you know the people that you watch on YouTube. So like there's only like 10 or 20% left of you know, getting to know someone. So I love that, and I went back again, and I think the third time that I went, which was to Blackpool, there were few people there, but lots of people had decided not to go for some reason. And I've never seen Raz. I've never seen Raz in real life.
You're not fucking missing a lot, if I'm honest.
I know, because he's always drunk and everything, but still, you know.
No, he's small. He's a little person, and he looks nothing like his Facebook picture. His Facebook picture is about 30 years old.
Right. Well, okay.
He's probably looks younger in his new videos, I've noticed, because like he's got his head.
Well, maybe we'll not go to Sweden then. I don't know.
He's aged badly over the last few years. I think it's since he met me at Bury. He's aged badly, I think, Raz. But he's a good guy. I won't take the piss too much. I do like Raz.
I'd love to meet him. Pete's always been there, and it's always a pleasure to meet Pete. But you know, going out to the UK, it's the trip and the flight and the stay, and it's a lot of money. So I have to be careful, and I can't go every year. I went to Somerset this year because I have friends there. So it'll probably be a while before the next time that I go.
I personally like to meet, because I've watched you for a fair few years. And someone said you were there last year, which was gutting because I was there. But I am always pissed. If you think Raz is always drunk, I am always. Well, no, Stu will tell you, I'm never drunk because I just constantly drink, and you can't tell the difference between me when I'm drunk and when I'm sober. But last year was a big meetup, so if you'd have been there,
I know that.
Time you went last time, but definitely in the future, man. If we know you're coming over and Raz is coming over, I'm sure all these guys who are here in the comments and all the British guys will make sure we have a good turnout and make it worth your while if you're putting all that money in to come and see us.
That's the only reason for it, because you know, they always have like the arcade games there, which is fun, but I can do that at home. You know, I really go there to meet the people. So, and if there's no one there, or you know, if most of the people that I enjoy watching and chat with aren't there, then it's kind of a missed opportunity for me. You know.
Yeah, well, definitely next time you come over, make sure we all know, and we'll make sure we make the effort for us UK guys for sure. Definitely.
I want to get into the arcade club because I've never been there either.
Same.
Well, they've been talking about it in the chat here, because obviously there's a couple of guys, like this. With doing these streams, there's more and more guys who are coming into the community, and we had got a big arcade club meetup arranged earlier this year, which obviously hasn't happened because of COVID. But we're definitely going to plan it, and maybe if we're going to make this an annual thing, and then someone like yourself, Wouter, can save up for it, make it worth your while coming over. And Raz came to the one we did last year in Bury. As you say, it's just meeting those like-minded channels, those like-minded people who you speak to over the tubes, and you know, it's fun for all of us, everyone who's there, who's involved.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Get away from that. Yeah.
I was just going to say, actually, Pete Snestastic, he was another channel that I still love and loved. I watched him a lot. Yeah, really enjoyed his stuff. I mentioned that in the comments on your stream, on the stream the other night, Dana, because it was just another channel that was one of my regulars, my staples. You know, I was always watching him.
I tell you what, I'm not going to take any credit for it all, but Pete's been knocking the videos out the last few days, and he seems to be enjoying it, and he's doing some VRs, and that's a good thing, man. He seems buzzing again, and got the taste for doing the tubes, which is a good positive thing. And it was an absolute pleasure having Pete on. I'd never spoken to him until a couple of days before, but what a top guy. And that's everyone who's been on. I've not had any guest who's given me any shit. any hassle. Everyone's been a pleasure to have on, and it just shows what a great community we have here on YouTube and in the gaming community as a whole.
Yeah, do you know what? I said it to yourself on a message and stuff privately. Like you said, Rolex Core, he put my channel out to a few of you guys or whatnot in a private chat, and then obviously yourself. Massive respect to everyone and all of you that have subbed to me, commented. I put it out here now. I've gone through and I liked and a little Shmup Pilot79 love heart on the comment, but to let you know that I've seen your comment. I want to go back and go through and comment on every single one of them, and I plan to as well. It's one of them things. I keep saying, "Oh, we're on lockdown." Got all the time in the world, but life gets in the way. There's stuff to do.
Plus, how long it takes you to put your fucking shelves up? You ain't got that much time, have you?
That's what I said. Tootie said to me, he went, "Them shelves up by Christmas." I went, "Yeah, 2021."
Don't let Stu give you any shit about shelves. Have you seen these? They're like Robin.
Yeah. I've seen that.
I actually watched these. I watched this video today. Is Tales from the Blast Furnace. I was like, while I was sorting out my front room, set up the dojo and whatnot. And he mentioned about his shelves on there today, and I thought that was quite amusing. Since you said it,
he always cleaning it out for mentioning it, but I don't think anyone mentions it to him more than me, and I only do because I know he pisses him off. If I find something and pisses you off, I'm going to do it twice as much as I can. But what I want to ask, while we're talking a bit about YouTube, you used to do a lot of VR responses. There's a lot of that going around. Do you think YouTube has changed since when you first started to now? Like, has it had a lull in between? And your opinion, really?
2 seconds, guys.
No worries.
You hear a lot of people saying that YouTube has changed, and I don't know. I mean, it's. Maybe not the channels that I watch. Most of the people are just doing their thing and doing. They're still there. Yeah, you got a lot of people now trying to convince others that they need money to do the thing that they did anyway. But that's that's the biggest hurdle to take. There's a lot of videos that I enjoy watching. A lot of the channels that I enjoy watching. That all of a sudden they go into, but I got to tell you about PCB Way, and they have ads and stuff. And that's the kind of thing that's the biggest change. But the rest, you've got your pickup videos, you've got people being enthusiastic about games that they like, and I like watching them. I like to get excited over when I watch Stu. He always has stuff that I want, that I think, that's cool that he found it, and he's done nothing else all this time, and I still like watching that, and it's like Daz said, we watch you watch for the tuber, you watch for the people that are sitting there, and it doesn't really matter what they do. So for me, not much has changed. Except like the money-making schemes, but the rest is all the same.
What I'd say there is you're 100% right. Someone can have the greatest fucking edited video or fucking high production video, but if the person behind it is wooden and dull,
you watch it
not perfect time.
The thing
go on.
Well, the thing that I really enjoy. When you follow channels over time, people like Raz, we've seen Raz collecting stuff, we've seen Raz selling everything. Now he's back buying stuff. We've seen Daz do that. We've seen many people go through their phases, and I enjoy watching that. And I'm never afraid when someone says I'm going to sell everything, it's going to be finished. I know it's going to come back. It's going to come back around, and you sort of make the journey with people, and that's what I like.
You know what I'll say about game collecting and YouTubing as a whole? It's like Hotel California. You can check in, but you never leave.
That's exactly. Yeah. That's exactly the way it is.
I mean, do you know what? Talking about.
Go on.
I was going to say, I hear so many people say about, it's the worst thing. You get on YouTube as a collector, and you'll see a game, and I'm sure Daz has spoken about this quite a lot. He says, you watch this video, and next minute you're buying that game. yeah, in some cases you might see a game. In my opinion, I see a game. Oh, I've never heard of that. I didn't know it existed. Brilliant. I wouldn't have known about it otherwise. I'll go out and get it. I'm sure there probably are some people that are out there, and all due respect to you, if that's how you do your thing, that say, oh, he's got that game. I'll have to get that game. I mean, I honestly don't believe that can really go on, can it? You tell me. But
no, I don't do that anymore. I've stopped buying games because other people like the game that I bought this.
Yeah.
I put 1,000 hours into this, and this is really good. 3-4 years ago, I would have been on eBay while the video was running and buying it. So I don't, I don't do that anymore.
Okay. Nah. It's like you said, like Dana said, Streets of Rage 4. Yeah, I saw some screenshots, a couple of people I follow on Facebook, etc. And I'm like, yeah, I remember Streets of Rage, and I'll have to check. Quick little side note, I did a little video a few weeks back of all of the boxes of games that I moved to the attic room from the game room. And I did a little video saying this is what we're going to be going through on my channel over the period. I'm going to take a box, bring it in, even though I've got an inventory, I'm going to open a box with everybody on YouTube. I don't know what's in it either. And we're going to pull it out and see what I've got. I know for a fact I'll have bought some games, years ago. And really, I want to define my collection more of a shooter collection, because that's the game I really like, the pick up and play. Same with the fighters. I enjoy fighters. But there'll be a number of games in there other than the childhood games. I've got that nostalgic feeling to me. I want to keep them. I had them. I wanted to have them. I'm going to keep them. But I mean, I think I got, for example, if I can off the top of my head, PlayStation 3, which is going to be the first box I'm going to pull out. I showed that in one of my videos, and we're going to go through it. I think I got, is it Ratchet and Clank, like HD collection on PS3?
Yep.
Yeah. I think I've got that and some other like HD collection, brand new sealed. I don't know how much they're going for today. I know at the time they were a fair price, and I don't know whether they've gone down or up. I think somebody said the other day about PS3 games are kind of a bit on a decline at the minute and all this or whatnot. But yeah, a lot of those games, to be honest with you, I haven't got the time. I want to invest my time into the shooters, into the shmups. And so I'm going to end up selling those games. So it's going to be quite cool to go through it, because I know I'm just going to be going like, oh, how much is that one worth? And it's going to be like, piling up £10 notes ready to put into the shooter collection. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Someone asked, does anyone have the guests on tonight's stream influenced by other people's pickups? Now, I would say, like, the sort of person I am, and Dylan, I'm going to fucking own up to you now. The more you post a game telling me I should fucking buy it, I'm 100% not going to fucking buy it, because I'm a person. I swear to God. And the only reason I'm going to crumble and I'm going to get Streets of Rage is because I've watched some footage of it and I've watched people play co-ops and I want to get it. But honestly, Dylan, you do me a favor every single day when you fucking post in our WhatsApp groups, in all three of them that me and you are into fucking together, the same game, saying you should look at this, get this, get this. I'm thinking 100% not getting it. It could be the fucking second coming of Jesus, and I'm not going to fucking pick it up because you told me to.
Dylan's like a drug dealer.
I tell you now, right? So far today, right, he's been fucking peddling limited run games to everyone, and fucking Zavi fucking. No, he sent They Live Zavi figures, right? There's the 2 aliens and Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now I've looked at them. I think I want to get them, but there's no way I'm fucking putting them on display in this fucking room here, so Dylan can have the satisfaction of going, I told him to get them.
I told him about that.
So he's got shares in Zavi 100%, and he's got shares in limited run games, because that's all he fucking pushes.
What about Strictly Limited? What about Strictly Limited? I mean,
I don't know how it feels about them. I think
German.
They're like the rival. They're the rivals. They have they have fights when they meet up at events.
They bring out some shooters as well. So I picked up every single one of them, I think. Big shout out to Dylan, Hyper Trigger EX. I really enjoy his channel. I've seen a couple of his videos now. He's always been commenting on mine, and I watched his cupboard tour today. I fucking loved it. His cupboard tour and going through it, and I could see, you talk about passion, Dana. I could see how enthusiastic he was when he was pulling it all out, and it reminded me of myself. And I have to say, massive props to you, mate. I love Dylan's stuff. Awesome.
I just want to say he looks ill wearing that woolly hat. I think it's because he's not had his haircut. He's not had a haircut. So he's got this fucking woolly hat on and he just looks like he's ill.
The Cupboard Tour video, which I think is an older one that I went back to, obviously Dylan had a different haircut. At first I was like, who's this? And I was like,
Yeah, he got it all slick. So how about you, Jota? Are you guilty in the past being influenced by others, or?
But you know, I've recognized that fault in myself, and I was just thinking, I wish I'd been more like you, saying "fuck you" in your games. I'm not going to buy them because that's what I've been doing. But basically, I should have just stuck to my own Commodore 64 thing. But people were showing.
Fuck you in your games! Get away from me!
Right. That should have been it, because I wouldn't have had. I mean, I've dumped a lot of shit now. You know, there's games that I thought. I went through my PS2 games, and I had fucking strategy games in there. I hate strategy games. I had strategy games in there. What was I thinking? Why did I buy this? So it was easy. I had easily a stack of 100 PS2 games, and I all sold them. Yeah, and the one game that I was seriously doubting whether I should sell was my PS1 Symphony of the Night game, which I bought for €70 years back, and it's worth over 200 now. And I needed the money, and I was thinking, you know, this is a cool game, and it's a desirable game, and it's a good game, but I care fuck all about it. So I decided to just sell it, and it felt great.
Put the money into something you want to buy that you want.
I was scammed out of it. So I sold it. The guy paid me, and then I bought something else, and I got scammed, and it was gone. So I'm never selling anything on eBay again. That's for sure.
I tell you, one of my great
about that. Obviously, I buy and sell at the events usually, and I avoid eBay. Mainly because I don't like giving eBay fucking money. I'd rather sell for cold hard cash at the event. But there's that fear of the amount of horror stories I hear about people sending stuff and not getting paid for it. It just puts the fear into me of like thinking, you know what, fuck it, fuck them. If I'm not getting cold hard cash for it, I'll sit on it for a bit.
Yeah, that's a good way, because after I'd sold the game and it was stolen from me when I tried to buy something else. At the end of the month, I got a bill from eBay for €18 for selling fees, and I didn't even know that was coming. And then Stu told me that there was like a £1 day where you can sell stuff and it costs you only one. I didn't know that. But, you know, it's just too complex, too risky.
I tend to, that's normally when I will list any of my, if I've got any bigger, high value games, I'll put it on the pound. I just pulled it out, actually. This was a game I had listed a little while ago, Raiden 4, Japanese, but it's sealed. It's sealed new. I've got it opened, and again, over the years, I forget what I've got. And a lot of the time, some of the Xbox 360 shooters, I bought them new because some came with DLC cards. And again, it's just the OCD in me. I just like, I've got to have it. I'll buy that so that I can open it. I was never going to keep it sealed. I was just going to rip it open. And I did some searching a month ago, and it's like, there is no DLC in Raiden 4. I was like, it's going on the bay. I'll keep my open copy, and I'll put this on there. I mean, some of the Japanese have got it. Easy. I think 140 quid. It's up to like Raiden Fighter Aces prices and stuff. But I think I reduced it down to about 85 quid at the end. Still no show. I just took it off. I just thought, I'll just leave it. I don't need to sell it. So.
My only fear with eBay is it's not even so much their fees, because as you say, you can do the £1 listing. It's the amount of fucking scammers who are on there saying they haven't received it, and eBay always backs them, always.
Yeah.
I had an incident. It wasn't even with a gaming. I bought a plastering trowel off eBay. Now the guy who sent the trowel in like fucking wrapped in newspaper. So when it come, it was fucking bent. It was one of them really fine trowels. It was bent. So I had to go through the whole procedure, like, to try and get my money back. He was disputing it at first. I'd got photos. eBay agreed with me. He goes, okay, well, I want the trowel back. And eBay agreed that I had to send it back before I got a refund. Now, I sent it back, but it wasn't signed for. So basically, he refused to get it back. So then it came back to me. So then eBay took my side and got it back. But this dickhead, right? He then searched my real name on the internet, and he found my mobile number, and he was ringing me at 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's lucky he lived in Ireland, otherwise I'd have fucking got the trowel and slit his fucking head off with it. Because what had happened is during that time I'd started coaching a kids soccer team. So if you search my name, it came up with my contact details for this soccer team.
Right.
Well, football. It's not soccer. I'm not fucking American. So he got my mobile number and he's ringing me at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I told him, I said, if you live near me, I'd fucking finish him.
Yeah.
And that, ever since that incident and the whole ball ache of me getting my fucking money back, I've just thought, I don't want to deal with eBay anymore. I'll buy off it, stuff that is more than likely to not come back faulty. But for selling on it, it was a fucking real ball ache, to be honest. Real
I thought
ball
it would
ache.
be fun, but not doing it again.
Yeah, you roll the dice. I mean, knock on wood. I've been really lucky. I've sold everything through there that I've ever sold, and I've bought a lot of my stuff on there as well. I'll be camping out 3 o'clock in the morning. I set the alarm on the old Japanese auction. I mean, I know Dylan uses one of the same.
I bet you. I use the same one as well. I get all my.
Was it Yamakoto or whatever? It used to be 99p start bid for everything. You can.
In the day, you could get loads. You could fill your box, but it's not so good now. But it's still all right. But they shut down at the moment anyway. Yakamoto or something.
There's another one. I'll give him a shout out. Game Digger. He lists a lot of stuff, and he's often got. Do you know? I tell you what, I have got. I don't know how long we got. Not long. I'll leave it for another day, mate. I got a little something. That's really rare. It's not a video game. Huh?
What's it called? Don't let me
I'll show you. No, it's not. I'll show you.
Can I show my penis mug later? Because that's more
Get it. Check this. Dainster exclusive. Now this is super rare, and I think I've paid just over 50 quid for it, which is pretty expensive. But 7-inch.
What dildo? Oh.
You know what this is?
I have not got a fucking clue what that is.
Star Soldier on Nintendo. That guy is the guy who was like the Turbo Button King. He's the one who was like the champion of it in the 80s in Japan. And they made like the cartoon. My first episode, Running Boy, they made an anime episode to basically sell the game in the 80s, get everybody hooked on it like crack or something. And this is the song, Running Boy. Everybody get on YouTube, look up the song, Running Boy. This is my theme.
Not
music.
now. After
not now. Yeah, not now. After the show. Yeah, sorry.
Vouter's going to show you all the gift, and I want to give this guy a shout out first.
Sample.
So Sean Horatio Van Basten sent me a parcel today. I'm not going to disclose what it is because I want to do a pickups video on it. But he felt the need to, one, write my channel name in it, and two, turn the Amazon logo into a huge penis for my postman to see, right? So he put Dainster83 and he put a fucking huge penis on. But I will do a feature. But show me what he sent you, Wouter.
Yeah. It just floated by. It had a good.
So Sean Horatio Van Basten, who isn't Dutch, although I thought he was, is obsessed with penises. It seems. Stu's asked this question twice, so I'll read it.
Yeah.
How's Elite treating Router with his Uber rig setup?
Fine. It's still. I bought this game ages ago, and it's got nothing but free upgrades all this time, and it still works like a charm. So, but it's sort of dropping in popularity somewhat, I think, Elite. But that's the one game that I never expected to put so much time in. I put well over 1,200 hours in that game. And it's just something that I sit down and play and, waste a lot of time on it. It's great. I love it. And it's going to be loads of new updates coming still next year. And there's going to be like a paid upgrade somewhere in the future. But I love Elite Dangerous.
Nice. Stu asked that twice, so I had to ask you.
Yeah, I saw.
Everyone's saying what a top guy Sean is now. I thought Sean was Dutch not that he wouldn't be a top guy if he was Dutch, but I did think he was Dutch. And he said he was going to send me the one item, and I will say he's put some bonus items in. I want to feature him for my pickups because he clearly watches my videos and listens to what I say with the items he's putting in, and I just want to say a big thank you to him, and he'll get a second thank you when I do the pickups video. So my last question for everyone before we do a sign off is what's the future for your channel? So we'll go to Highlander first. I'm hoping you're going to finish that game.
Oh yeah, I've uploaded 2 videos in the past week, but that's because I'm home so much. So I've never been more determined for anything than to finish this project. It's 100 videos and it's really a load of work, but that's definitely gonna happen. It's gonna be more Commodore 64 related than it has been in the past. And you know, I'm just gonna watch YouTube, and if anyone thinks that they can come up with shit that makes them money, I'm gonna comment on it. You know, if you think you can come up with a cockamamie story why you need money to make YouTube videos, I'm gonna talk about it.
So no change, which is something I'm very glad to hear. I want to say I popped into that stream when you were playing Fix It Feel It the other day. I was impressed with how that looked, and that's obviously a modern game for the Commodore 64.
Oh,
you play it on something called the Ultimate 64, if I'm not correct. Can you just give us a quick overview of what that is for anyone who's watching who doesn't know?
Gideon Schweitzer is a guy who has recreated the Commodore in FPGA, so that is not like software emulation, but like a recreation of the Commodore, but all in FPGA. It's wonderful. It does everything the Commodore 64 does and more. I can connect it to my PC. I can stream to my PC. It's a wonderful device, and I do all my Commodore gaming on it. And I just want to say that that Fix It Felix game that was made by Antonio Savona, that has become the second best-selling game on itch.io and the best-selling C64 game on itch.io ever. So it's really a popular game. Proceeds all go to UNICEF, like a children's fund. So that's pretty good, and it's
that's brilliant. That is. I didn't know that bit about it. That's superb.
Yep.
So that's brilliant, and hopefully, like as I say, I'm looking forward to some more videos from you. And I enjoyed watching you play that, and it's great that obviously the proceeds are going towards a charity. It shows the good that is in the community for sure. So how about you? I know you've only just started, Dave. What's your plans for the future of the channel and the growth of the channel?
Finish a game room. Good start, right?
Fucking hell, we've not got that long.
Hey, I know, I'm going back to work Wednesday, apparently. Yeah, no, as I say, the next video you're going to see from me is one I've already done. When was it? Sunday. I went on a road trip to Osset in Wakefield, about 70 miles from where I'm here in Nottinghamshire, and I picked up such a deal. I did mention it on one of my videos, and I actually videoed the whole journey in the car, you know, out in the forbidden zone, mate, with nothing on the roads other than trucks. Yeah, I'm going to piece that together, and that's my next upload. I will put that. I definitely ain't going to be putting that up there tonight, but I will put that all together tomorrow, and that'll be interesting. And then we're going to start going through the boxes, take out the games. The ones we're keeping are going to go on the shelves. The ones we're getting rid of, we're going to sell. I might even do a little, I don't know, maybe like a tally. Let's look at what we've sold and what we've amassed and what we're going to purchase with the proceeds or whatever. I don't know. But massive thanks to everybody out there, yourself, Dana, especially. I mean, you know, 3 weeks ago, you know, I'm off work. I'm getting a bit down on myself. You know, my kids, I'm worried about my daughter, COVID. She's got asthma. I'm like, oh, she was in hospital 4 times last year on oxygen. I'm like, fuck me, you know, this is serious. I just want to literally put her in a box and keep her there, but you know that it don't always work that way. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to sharing is caring. That's what I tell my kids. And so yeah, thanks for bringing me into the community. I felt like I was a bit of a part of it in the shadows under my personal YouTube account. You know, people wouldn't obviously recognise the name Shmup Pilot79. So I've never used it in the 3 years it's been on there. But yeah, thanks very much.
No worries. we're going to get into our final messages in a second. Like I like to finish with you guys sending a message to everyone who's watching. I want to personally thank you both for coming on. I'm enjoying getting a couple of tubers who've never met each other on together. Hopefully, obviously, you both sub to each other. I'd like everyone who's in the comments to not only sub to these two guys, but sub to each other who are in the comments. Go and check out past guests. I've not had a fucking shill or a bad guest on. So please,
the best YouTubers were here tonight, man. The best YouTubers were here.
Yeah, always. This is where the real community is at in this stream here every fucking night. And again, Veta, live from Holland. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
also, Dave. So if you want to send out a message, Veta first, just a message for everyone watching here in YouTube and who are watching back.
Just do what you do. We watched the tuber for the tuber. Thanks, Daz, for forever saying that. That was great. Just stay real. If you want to make money, just say, I want to make money and I want to put it in my own damn pocket. That's the way it works. Stay real and have fun. That's my message.
Thank you. And how about from you, Dave? Message to everyone watching.
Yeah, as I say, I remember when I used to watch Daz and the rest of people saying, Darren used to say, get yourself on the tubes, to people in general, get yourself on there. I wish I had done it years ago, but to be fair, there was never really the time. Lockdown, I mean, it's a bit of history for me. I mean, we'll look back on it and be like, well, this is where it happened. And like Ruta said, I ain't in it for the money. I don't even, I never even, honestly, thought never even crossed my mind. I just wanted to share what I've collected. Because literally, my missus, ex-missus, she weren't interested. My mate Lee, who helped me move the CRT today, he told me once before, Dave, just sell it all. I'm like, oh, mate, I'll sell some of it. So, yeah, literally, it's just me and nobody. I tried to share it with the kids. But out to everybody there on YouTube, thanks very much for, checking out my channel and whatnot. Subscribe to Dane's. I don't know what else to say other than look out for all my responses to your comments. I'll spend the day trying to go through them all. Cheers.
Thank you both, man. You've both been brilliant guests. I've really enjoyed having you on. I'm just going to drop you backstage while I do my little sign-off thing and shout to everyone. But please, everyone, go check out the Highlander and check out Shmup Pilot79. Everyone who's been watching, if you're not subbed to them anyway. Thank you, guys. Right, I've really enjoyed that tonight. I'm buzzing to get Highlander on. He's someone whose opinion who really matters to me, and I've watched for many, many years. And he's a knowledgeable guy. He presents himself well, and he is a top gent. And Dave, I've got to know recently, obviously, since he joined the tubes, and he was pointing out to me, I'd do the same thing that I do for everyone. I will push your channels. Hopefully, we've got Pete Sneztastic over 5,000 subs. If you've not subbed to Pete Sneztastic, please go and do so. And if Pete, old school Variety Face, would just shut the fuck up for 2 seconds in the comments, I am aware it is the last day of YouTuber of the month. Go to this link, although you can't click it when I highlight it anyway. It is in the comments. Go to it, cast your vote for whoever. All 5 channels I class as friends. They're all great channels. Go and support it. More importantly of all, come end of year, vote Danester, YouTuber of the year. I've got a stream lined up for you tomorrow. Another 2 great guys. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like on the way out if you want. And this is Jurassic Park. Good night.